Oh, my loves, how are you? Today I'm going to dive into a divine feminine support read. There's lots of messages that have been coming in. I have a few quick announcements first, though. I just posted a divine masculine, divine feminine message over on Patreon. I was guided to do so because it dove deeper into the levels of dissatisfaction that the divine masculine collective is experiencing or maybe experiencing as they're wanting to move into deeper states of prosperity and success in their life. And they're sort of reaching this point of realization that they're having to expand into their higher energies and really open up to their inner union energies and the connection with their counterpart or the sacred feminines. And so it's really, I could sense it was this energy of their energy in essence is way too big for their human body. And so it's sort of building this pressure around them and a discomfort that is ultimately helping them to expand into their true potential and purpose. So if you want to look into more of that or receive that 22, 23-minute video, that's over in my Patreon. I'll drop that in the pinned comment. I did bring in some messages for the feminines and supporting embodying into sacred union energies in the physical world as well. But I also, the groups that I did this week, the safe groups, were so incredibly powerful for moving, shifting, dissolving lots of fear, energy, PTSD, even dove into the second session. We dove very deeply into dissolving like war energies, ancestral war energies. So, for those of you that resonate with my work or would like to partake in that, I made those available on my site. So, I will also drop those in the pinned comment. And I made it so you can purchase both sessions if you were unable to attend at all. But if you only attended one and would like to receive the second one or the other one, I also made those available individually. And I put the dates and correspondence on the picture in the comment. So in the on the site. So you can check that out. If you have any questions, let me know. And for my Patreon members, you also can use your discount code this month for those now through June 11th. All right. Thanks for your patience with me. I just wanted to make sure you guys got that information. I'll also drop it over in the community tab over in the next like day or two. So you have that gentle reminder that those things are available for you. But yes, so the essence and energies that were coming through very deeply with the collective over on Patreon is deeply geared towards those who have been in the energy and essence of non-attachment about their counterpart and really focusing on the inner union and preparing deeply to stabilize those unity consciousness, sacred union codes. And so if you're resonating with that, that may be very supportive for you. And what I'm sensing deeply with the sacred divine feminine collective is that I don't know about you guys, I would love to hear from you, but especially over the last few days, there's been a very deep sense of being moved energetically. Like it almost feels like the feet are lifted up and we're just being gently guided and glided to our perfect timeline. And everything is sort of moving around us. But if you feel called to rest, take a break, relax, and sort of just allow those higher energies to support you and bringing you to wherever you're meant to be, allow yourself to rest into that. And I have this message that I received for some of you who have been here with me for a while. My cats, I have a male cat and a feminine cat, and their dynamic is so sweet, but they're always sort of giving me messages around some of the energies in the collective. And I just got my feminine cat back 6, 7 months ago, and she was like in an abandoned house. She was starving. She came to me with definitely some PTSD and food scarcity issues. And she used to just devour her food and then try to eat Lucky's food and kick him out of the way. And he would gracefully just bow out and let her eat his food too. But it was getting a little bit out of hand. So I worked with her on the energies and also like the food scarcity and the trauma in her system physically and emotionally. And it's so amazing how far she's come because she eats her food and she graciously does not touch his dish. Even if he leaves half of his food, she just leaves it alone and she goes and relaxes until or if I give her the leftovers. And another thing I've noticed that I'm just blown away by how well she is embodying her sacred feminine energies is that if I pull out the treats, Lucky, he's the male cat, he comes running and she just kind of stays in her cozy little spot, knowing that I'm going to come bring them over to her. And she just stays in her receptive mode and lets me bring her treats to her, kind of like breakfast in bed. And I'm just really blown away by her progress and process. And I feel like I want to acknowledge for the feminines as you're loving yourself, showing up for yourself, caring for yourself, allowing yourself to receive your nourishment and self love and self trust, right? And trust that the universe has your back or that those that love you will help support you and take care of you. And dropping into that receptive mode is really making things magnetic. And it's just been beautiful to watch that part of her just go from feeling so scared and in scarcity to just totally relaxed and in trust mode. And I feel like that is how quickly this shift can take place within our systems and within our energies as we're going deeper and deeper into some of those pockets, whether it's fears or old traumas or old patterns. Sometimes it'll feel like it's getting more intense, but it's really because you're getting to the roots and there's about to be that big shift over from that survival mode into the thriving and flourishing. Okay. And it really feels that overall the divine feminine collective is moving into that thriving energy. And throughout this year and obviously into next year will really begin to flourish. Okay. So let me know how you guys have been feeling. I know that we've been feeling quite a bit of physical and emotional symptoms connected with the overall collective shared space, what the masculines are processing, what's coming up in our systems to be dissolved and cleared out as those old patterns clear out for us. But I really am sensing that the old patterns in the connections are also dissolving if we're allowing those to. And it feels important that when you are letting things go, right, what's happening is you're actually letting the old version of you release, the old version of your counterpart release, so that when you're coming back together, whether it's in the energetics or in the physical or in the emotional energies or whatever way you're connecting and communicating, you're showing up as the version of who you are now. And you can share the results with one another in that space. I talked more about that shared space and sharing results with one another over in the Patreon group as well. All right. So I do want to bring in some messages for the feminines. And okay, yep, I feel guided to go with the Priestess of Light deck for the feminines. And just gonna open up freely to see what's gonna be the most beneficial messages for the feminine collective or for any of you here watching. Ooh, okay. Yeah, I'm not taking that half the deck. But I feel like, in a sense, that's significant about the level of support that's available to the feminines. The more and more you open up, the more you allow yourself to receive and to be receptive, the more you continue to say no and no thank you to what isn't in alignment with you and for you, the more you're discerning about what you focus your energy on, the more you discern what you will give your energy and essence to, the more clear you become within your essence and energy, the more magnetic your energy is. Wow. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, we got two. Grateful optimism, joyous view of the future, and guide illuminated path. And so, what I'm getting with this is that sacred divine feminines, as you allow yourself to feel grateful for all of the results that you've been receiving or that you are about to receive, for all of the experiences you've had up to this point, the more that you can drop into your joy, even if it's just joy of being present in your own body, in your own heart, it's allowing you to become that beacon and that guide, not only for your masculine, but for the collective. And what I'm sensing, this is what I'm seeing and sensing in my mind's eye right now, is that the feminines are really building this energy and essence within herself, and the collective is starting to notice this glow or this essence about her, the magnetism, the gorgeous energies of like the power of her dropping in and harnessing her own energy. And that energy and that life force is building. And it's building and it's building. And some of the feminines, you might not even be realizing this right now, but as you're building that, it's literally what I'm seeing is it's literally going to start pouring out of your pores in your skin if it isn't already. And that natural, that very natural life force glow is you've shored up your boundaries, is you've shored up your energy for what your intentions are for your highest potential and divine alignment. Wow, it's becoming incredibly powerfully magnetic. Like I'm feeling it. It's like this stable, magnetic, like portal of your energy and essence. And now this is totally connecting back to that masculine reading, because in that message we talked about the masculines. I felt the energy where the masculine was feeling sort of pulled into alignment, but not like pulled in a someone pulling him along, but like his higher self sort of being like, okay, it's time to open up into your potential. And he's opening up to his higher power and his connection with his internal feminine, and realizing and remembering more and more of his true purpose and power. And this is quite amazing because I'm feeling and sensing collectively in a very new and deep way in the shared space how this deep focus internally from the sacred feminines is very naturally pulling what's meant for her into alignment in the most loving way. When we hear those things over and over and over again, right? Get into your own alignment, focus on yourself, allow yourself to become magnetic for what is meant for you, surrendering to the higher power of what's meant for you, getting into your own co-creative abilities, allowing yourself to unravel any fears or limitations or survival mechanisms, allowing yourself to really move into thriving and flourishing. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. The feminines to me have moved far beyond, and the day came when the risk it took to bloom was, you know, was more painful. Yeah. See, I can't even say the poem. That's how much we've shifted out of that energy. Wow. And that's one of my favorites. But to me, what it's signifying, and the day came when the risk it took to remain tight and closed in a bud was more painful than the risk it took to bloom. Now I have to find a new saying, because for that feels like sort of where the masculines are. And what I'm sensing is the feminines are like, they're like in full blossom. They are like, we are going to grow from like a bud to a bush to a tree to a forest. Like, boom, like significant amount of growth in a very short amount of time. That's what it's going to look like externally. but we all know that the feminines have been working behind the scenes for a while now, like a few years at least, if not more. So this is the build up of the results of everything that you've been doing. And it's almost like that's why they had me tell that story about Nala, because it just happened like overnight. Like she was watching me, I was training her, I let it go, and then she just started doing it. And it was like within a week or two that we just naturally fell into a rhythm. And it was like we were telepathically in sync. Something just started happening in my throat. And with this picture in the high heart, oh, okay, feminines. As we've been talking about the head pressure, headaches, the teeth, the jaw, the throat, the neck, with the masculine collective, but many of the feminines have been feeling it. Feminines, if it feels correct to you, working with that space, and masculines who are here and present and resonating, allow yourself to work with the high heart energy, using your voice, your breath, your sacred sound, and the essence and energy from that life force of your love in your heart to more deeply activate and support the high heart essence. As I'm saying that, I just saw another chamber open up that was connected to the masculine side essence. Work with this within your own energies, just in a very neutral inner union way. And if guided, obviously share that into the heart, sacred shared heart space with your divine counterpart. There is something that's wanting to be opened and activated within the heart space of the sacred feminine collective that's going to support the opening between the heart and the upper chakras, especially the voice and the communication. This is just coming in right now. I believe that this will support both collectives and all who feel guided to partake. But thank you, Sacred Feminines, for bringing this through. As I'm getting deeper into it, it feels like where they're beginning to prepare to meet in the heart space, in the communication space, within the heart's shared heart space, the high heart. And for me, it's so much about the essence and energy of camaraderie. As we move deeper into trust and reciprocity within our own energies, we prepare to be in the energies of reciprocity with others, which, and as they are ready to do the same with us, this brings in the energy of camaraderie and reciprocity. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous feminines. This also makes a lot of sense why I've been like very, very drawn to my blues again. And this is like the colors that I equate with the high heart. So I'm very grateful to be sharing and receiving this message here today. So as you move into your next few days and whenever you find this, take some time to meditate, chant, tone, sing, deep breathe, invite the elements of the sun and the air and the water and the earth into that high heart area. Support yourself within that, loves. And if you're feeling like you do want a little bit of extra support with that, or it's feeling like it's not quite ready, those safe groups may be an appropriate support for this opportunity, because that group is about stabilizing into the root chakra and sort of clearing out any of the old residuals of the fears, which will ultimately allow for the high heart to open. Okay, awesome. Yes, I'm going to close out with True Love Oracle message. And I deeply appreciate those of you who are here with me. And for those of you that enjoy my services and connect with me in different ways, I thank you and appreciate you. And for those of you that are just here for the videos, I'm glad that you're here too and receiving that. And I appreciate your patience with my sharing my offerings for those who do like to receive within those. So thank you. I appreciate that. Whoa. Okay, gorgeous. You guys saw me shuffle that. It's 11:10 here right now as I'm about to finish this recording, and it's the emotional freedom card. which was the last card that came in the masculine video. So there is very much, wow. So this high heart essence, the connection between the heart and the verbalization and the expression of the emotion, of the experiences, allowing ourselves to be comfortable and safe within ourselves and within the connection and with the shared space is opening up a new emotional freedom as we release the fear around being ourselves or being able to communicate the truth. Any place we may have had fears of being rejected or abandoned, as we allow those fears to dissipate and dissolve, and we rest into trusting that everything that is meant for us is going to show up and that you can't mess it up, and that even if you made quote unquote mistakes, that if you're allowing yourself to open up to what's really meant for you, no matter what happened, you really can't mess it up if you are learning from it. And if you are allowing yourself to move into and step forward into what is meant for you. Now it's 11:12. So I think it's interesting that I completely didn't look at the clock at 11:11, but at 11:10 and 11:12. And I feel like that is signifying where the collectives are in that expansion. So we have the masculines at 11:10 and the feminines at 11:12, preparing to meet in the middle at 11:11. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. So this is kind of more deeply signifying to me that in the next weeks and months and throughout this year, it feels very strongly that many of these connections will be coming into some form of stabilized communication, connection, union energies. All right, loves, whatever way works for you and your connection. There is no judgment around how you choose to experience and participate in that. You just continue to focus on what feels aligned for you. And again, that emotional freedom, that divine alignment freedom, and those energies and the pillars of the 11:11 coming in sync together, and just how incredibly close the overall collectives are coming into this alignment. This is very beautiful. Beautiful work. We're going to drop deeper into receiving the results of what we've been doing. So please take time to support yourself and to be receptive to receiving whatever it is that is best for you at this time. Each moment that you drop into practicing that, you're sending that signal out. You're showing that you're becoming more and more receptive and magnetic for what is meant for you. Okay, loves, absolutely gorgeous work. Again, I would love to hear from you. I appreciate your presence here. I will be posting that information in the pinned comment and over in the community tab. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to drop those below. And I look forward to seeing you again soon. Love you and have a beautiful rest of your day.